We're going to see where they're going to take us for Battleground number 2 and see if maybe No Tomorrow has some new plans. We're going to go to Cursed Hollow, map picked by Endemic. An old school for Michael Udall teams. They've picked this Battleground 2 times, have played on it 3 total, sitting at 2-1. So a map they're comfortable on. This has been a Battleground where it's hard to ignore some of the glaring mistakes that were made of capturing tributes and confirming curse.
Yeah.
When 1 to 2 people on your team are dead and they're nowhere near respawning. That's happened in the past, almost too consistently to be ignored. There has been some brighter moments in this phase on this Battleground. More refined play, more disciplined play. So we'll see if they run into any of those moments. These are past mistakes that were made. It's just one of those situations that it's happened so many times, you've got to bring it up. It's the obvious.
And now that she's becoming more relevant, we also have to talk about some of the ins and outs of Toronto on this Battleground, because she kind of adjusts a lot of strategies that are viable, because she can 2-man boss very easily. Like old Toronto, she used to just go 100 mark, I'll remove that 25 damage or 25% damage, and we'll just kill this thing to death. Now she gets auto attack resets to definitely make sure whoever is helping her can backdoor that boss. The pace is not going to be as quick, but when it comes to the survivability and the risk of even starting it and questioning that is very, very low considering New Toronto. And so with that, if you get yourself like a gray main, I'm going to say the word, don't get too excited, the butchers, things like that, that you can really get a 2-man boss backdoor, and it can be devastating if you didn't predict it.
Even I'll admit, Dreadnought, 2-manning boss with a butcher that's not stacked, it's not fun, it takes a while.
That used to be meta, though. That used to be meta on this Battleground.
Old school.
Yeah.
New butcher, not so much.
Yeah.
Gray main, though, now we're talking.
As long as it can essentially start the boss before a time that you would typically expect it, because there is no trade-off to not committing to the boss itself unless your opponent invades and is going to take that boss in itself. So as long as it's above 50% HP, you can constantly just start it and be like, is this going to work out? Like, is this good? And it's a very unique thing, because once you get that one boss, normally you'd be like, well, Jay-How, go ahead and steal the other one. Toronto knows she's going to always keep track of the pacing because of the Sentinels, so somebody has to wear that. And Curse just functions in such a unique manner that if she comes to light, I feel like it's going to be really cool to see how it unfolds.
Let's find out. No Tomorrow has first pick available to them. Abathur, the X Factor, comes out. Hanzo, knowing has that boss race potential, taken away. We get first pick Genji.
One of my favorite Genji battlegrounds. And a Sergeant Hammer, very high priority for this. I like this from Endemic. It's going to endorse a lot of pressure with the tri-lane opposition from them. I would like to see them not stick to the bottom rotation. We see so often teams are stacking their tri-lanes on the predictable lane. I would like to see you make it commit towards the top lane. It's not only is it in a better position, not considering the Giants, but it gives you split pressure during the first tribute when you have the Giants off, and you can defend against your opponents. It's something, I don't know, that has come to light a lot here in Phase 2 of HGC North America.
This is an interesting draft.
Yes. Maiev Blaze.
When you've locked in Maiev and Genji, you've pretty much shown your hand to say, this is our damage dealers. But when you lock, and Maiev could be the flexible for the offlaner, but when you lock in Blaze, you have fully committed to saying that is all of your damage dealers.
Yep.
But Endemic might know something different because they banned out Li Ming. This draft, unless Blaze is playing the main tank, didn't seem like that would be the ban.
No, I think the best way to put that would be outside of, before we see the Li Ming ban, because I agree with you. You're going like, okay, you're going to Tyrael with this? Like, what do you're going for that death ball, clumping, double survivability with the bunker sanctification. Somebody will get a kill, get a reset within that time frame, and then removing that double reset. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that was a possible indication of that solo Blaze, but no longer, probably.
If you're trying to have the ultimate, we're going to dive you, and everything else is okay everywhere else, there's only one hero, consists of 3 heroes that can get that done.
Don't talk about the Vikings like that.
No Tomorrow, when Jason was on their team in Phase 1, they had like an 8-minute, maybe 7-minute cursed game they ran with a Vikings comp. I think it had an Illidan though. There's no Illidan here.
Tyrael coming out from Endemic this game as well. Not available for No Tomorrow. If that was ever a part of the game plan, I can't help but feel like that ban on the Li Ming and then the pickup of that really removes that death ball strategy that would have been acceptable within Curse. It's one of the few battlegrounds I think that playstyle can really work even internationally. Wait. We got to bring this back, guys. This is not this is not reworked Brightwing. This is the Brightwing. Like Akaface, I get it, man. I know you love that little maniacal fairy dragon.
There's only one thing coming here, Dreadnought. It takes me back to last year's BlizzCon.
Brightwing bomb, boys.
Kaboom, laddie! Any of those heroes can be going in, most likely the Genji. And the Arthas pickup. This is old school Cursed Hollow Tyrael Arthas.
It is very old school, but J-How, I've never seen a better Protect the Hammer composition in my life. That Swift Strike in with the Brightwing. Okay, for anybody at home who doesn't know what a Brightwing bomb is, we should probably explain that. You use any major gap closer with the teleport being preset out from the Brightwing.
Trying to find a Genji or a Brightwing prop somewhere. I think it might be down there.
Yeah. And then so what happens is, like, I'm the Genji. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and Swift Strike through. The teleport finishes. Emerald Wind splits the rest of the team. So you're actually using those mobility to enable Emerald Wind to be as effective as possible. And it's actually a huge suppression, you know, because you can't control your hero. The closer to the center you are, the worse and longer that gets. We'll see how it unfolds here.
It's going into an Arthas and a Tyrael. You mentioned the Protect the Hammer comp. So just help me out here.
Yeah.
That's post level 10.
Yeah.
I've got a Maiev,
yep,
a Genji,
yep,
a Muradin, and a Brightwing.
Okay.
How's the wave clear on those 4 heroes?
Not existing, actually. So what you're trying to highlight is Endemic is probably going, in my mind, I wouldn't be surprised if Endemic gets a fort pre-curse.
Yeah.
Purely off the hammer pressure alone. And normally people, I think you'd be like, well, Brightwing's pretty good into the Sergeant Hammer as the sustained DPS, and you can polymorph it out, but it doesn't function the same. Genji and Maiev need to be on point here, getting resets in the laning and everything the like.
It's going to be wild. We saw that Dignitas spray. Don't forget, still got another week plus left on the cheer system. You can cheer and get your sprays, banners, HGC stuff. Cheer for your favorite team or multiple teams. Also, the cheer bomb's available. You cheer 1,000 bits, Dreadnought. You get random loot chests that go out to some random members in chat, but you get a couple for yourself as well.
Is that when we say, you know, for every Brightwing bomb, hopefully we get a cheer bomb? I think it'd be cool.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there wouldn't be that many.
Okay, that's a sick burn on Brightwing.
No, it's a long enough cooldown, and max you get like 3 or 4 per game.
Okay,
but that I'd take 3 or 4 cheer bombs.
Yeah. Casanova comes in here with the flank, jet propulsion follow-up, and Dansky proceeded to not care at all. Actually just stood still, threw out a couple autos. Now we see the dismount there, but I'm trying to highlight here that that's probably going to be the case for a lot of this game, is Dansky actually is a lot more confident in that setup based on how the team fights have to be approached. And I think it actually only gets better for Endemic post 10, even though normally you'd say, well, that's when the Brightwing bomb comes online. Sanctification plus Arthas are really going to be able to survive and just kind of not care. Keep in mind, also, Brightwing has to polymorph Tyrael. Otherwise, that Sanctification will go off. As the invade comes in,
there's no self-cleanse. This is not level 4. Dansky is going to be a casualty of War. Akaface just able to sidestep the concussion mine. No Tomorrow with an early advantage, because if Endemic gets this camp early, Dreadnought, the lack of wave clear translates directly over to how do I clear this minion wave out with if I don't have a Blaze? And Sergeant Hammer would have easily sieged up in front or behind of anything, but without level 4, no Tomorrow, early advantage.
And it's even a bigger setback there, as Cure actually, after that first kill, came in on Dansky. He didn't know if they were going to full commit and if they're going to slow capture the camp enough for him to commit to a 4 versus 5 with the respawn on Dansky. So he half rotates up to the night camp and then sacrificed any advantage experience-wise he could have obtained through the minion wave on bottom. He could have denied Genji the entirety of that wave. I can't help but feel like that's one of those moments where there was no clear yes or no, but something had to be committed to, and in the end, no Tomorrow won on all fronts.
If you're looking to disrupt what could potentially be coming out from your opponent, definitely one way to accomplish that. And this Genji at the bottom, he's handcuffed down here, although he gets some insane damage out on the Junkrat. The Siege Giants are here, and this is a point you brought up during the draft, is the Siege Giants will be bottom with the Tribute top.
Yeah, and it's one of those moments where even though we do see ENDEMIC applying pressure to top, it's way later than I originally would have liked to see them have it, to where I guess the argument I was trying to make is a little bit void, but the offset of the Tribute towards top with the lack of wave clear is crippling here for ENDEMIC. And Jay-How, if we keep track of the first 2 Tributes, and if it finds it in a position where we can predict the third, it makes it to where ENDEMIC can really, really manipulate this battleground if they win these first 2 Tributes.
Akafe straight juked any of the CC that was coming out. I was watching that mini-map and just watching that Brightwing wiggle back and forth. Juked any of that CC, was able to get some stall in. And that's allowed No Tomorrow off of that steal, off of soaking that bot lane. They give up the Tribute, but they've amassed just over a half, almost 3/4 of a level lead in this early part.
All right, so here, now that we have the pause coming in from Jin, excuse me, I want to highlight what I was trying to talk about a little bit with the Sergeant Hammer map manipulation. So we had first Tribute top middle. We know next Tribute's top left, so we got bottom right for the third. So that means that top boss threat mixed with Sergeant Hammer pressure over that time frame. If I got Tribute 1 and Tribute 2 with the Giant split pressuring, that puts you in a devastating lose-lose scenario. So much so that probably 1 to 2 people, maybe 3, if you really are too concerned, just get that stall, get that delay. It's on your side of the battleground too, so it's very advantageous for you. And that's when that hammer tri-lane pressure at a different part of the battleground can be really difficult on Cursed Hollow.
I think Dread points out a very good learning opportunity for those of you that don't know. The curses, the Tributes, I should say, spawn in series of 3. The first one will always be top or bottom middle, and then the second one, you can, if they're both in the top, it's basically 2 hemispheres. It's a long thing to go into, but there is a lot of material out there. I actually have a video on this. But there's a lot of material out there. It's split into a grid. There's 3 top, 3 bottom, top, bottom. There's a lot to learn there. It's just a small thing that if you want to play around that after the second Tribute, it makes it easier to determine where that third one's going to be, which is something you pointed out will be that bottom right. So it does allow different opportunities on the map to control the rotations. So that is something that if you were unaware of that, it's definitely some information you can use to your advantage in your own games.
Yeah, and if you're wondering, well, what is that going to do for me, Jay-How? I just saw Cursed Hollow adjusted when it comes to the UI. I get to see where those curses go anywhere. Well, the answer is before you would have to wait till you saw this Tribute, and then you go, now we know where the third Tribute is. I know minutes in advance where my third Tribute's going to be, so I can prep this battleground into my favor. So if anything, I gained more info on the third Tribute based on that UI adjustment, and it made this even bigger advantage than it debatably used to be, you know, way back. Which, by the way, shout out to an older player that's no longer with us here at HGC currently. He's still alive, sorry for that word. But Iacona was the original guy to come out with a professional breakdown of how those Tributes worked way long time ago.
I'm curious how Garden of Terror handles that. Death Coil will get the interrupt. Tomster going in deep. Here comes Brightwing with the phase shift. We'll give that. No bomb, no 10. But the threat is real. Dreadnought getting excited, though.
There is no the polymorph was not as much as a one-shot all-in I was expecting, because even though we don't have the Brightwing poly bomb, we still have the, oh man, that crowd control not coming in time. Hold on, a lot of threat on the B-Kid, too. Tomster trying to find a reset on the Dansky. Polymorph plus the tether coming through. Kira's going to be the focus. No mana, no health pots, no health. He's going to go down here, and another kill out for No Tomorrow.
That's one of the more difficult aspects of Arthas is the mana management. He can be heavy on the mana. You have to manage that appropriately. Had he had the Death Coil, Alt Q, maybe kept himself alive long enough to get some extra healing. The good capitalization, No Tomorrow, also able to pick up that Tribute just barely with Akaface on that backside. And by getting that kill and getting that control, that map manipulation that we were just discussing, completely out the window.
It's gone. It is now, what can No Tomorrow do with this information to set themselves up? And the answer is really not that much. They've already got it where it should be. The best situation, Brightwing on the opposite side of the battleground, and then have themselves the Giants pushing if they can. Giants are on cooldown, not going to be a choice there. One thing to keep in mind, Jay-How, I will always point this out when looking towards Brightwings, is she normally needs a teleport to make up for the forgiveness of the composition because you don't have that sustain existing around you at all points in time. Cure maybe needs that sustain around him as the Stormbolt comes through. Tether gets the kill, and things quickly falling apart here for ENDEMIC.
Yeah, with that kill on level 10, No Tomorrow will easily pick this up to grab tribute number 2. This is around the time we'll see teams make a play towards the boss, potentially try that double boss.
There it
we'll
is.
see No Tomorrow start theirs. See if ENDEMIC right now should likely be on there.
Yeah, they should be, but if I have a vision of 2 people on mid, I have no holy ground threat until 13 Spike's gonna hit. I actually love this play from No Tomorrow. Puts them in a position to then start the next boss and then wait for the tribute to spawn. If the tribute spawns, then back out. This answers the question. You don't even have to worry about it. Just get yourself a cursed boss. This is going to be likely no contribution from ENDEMIC towards this tribute. And unless they have no idea that that boss is there, and judging by the rotations, they're going to actually all in here on this tribute. J-How, this is a... If they struggle off of this decision, the game is going to be a 2 to 3 level lead.
It's an early boss. It's hard to tell whether that boss did any damage to the minions along the way. Bosses are very much amplified when they have minions along with them. So just keep an eye on the mini-map for now. Casanova looking to initiate. Sergeant Hammer now with that hover siege able to move in and out of this area. And will aggressively move forward.
Minions backing that boss on bottom is going to secure that bottom fort here.
Right wing bomb? Nope.
No commitment. I thought for sure that would be the commitment here.
Have that available again in a few seconds. No way to split just yet. Jin still very much zoned out.
And we don't even have the opportunity for that full all-in with that blink here. Okay, Polymorph gonna come through. Just delay after delay here for No Tomorrow.
Well, that boss has done work. We see Maev in the middle lane. Tomster will get a few more. Does have that dodge available. Uses the natural agility over the cyber agility for him. Tomster just had to X strike out, else he would have died. Maev taking down that mid fort will net them some more experience to get them closer to 13. The boss has been cleared out, but Maev will move through vision, which shows that to ENDEMIC and move towards that bot lane to maybe take down a keep tower.
But this is worth so much for No Tomorrow. That was a brilliant rotation from them. This pressure on bottom for Jay Shrite is worth a lot more for them, and it also enables that win condition that much more when looking at the later stages of the boss. We talked about the early bosses not being that threatening and the minions being able to enable it.
That's insane.
Yeah, another way to look at this too, since the removal of the 3rd turret, a front wall is more valuable when you have a boss than it used to be, because it used to be you break the first threshold, 2 turrets hit on top of it, then you go to the fort and you have the fort plus another turret. Now, all of that exists within the fort itself, removing some of the opportunities there.
This is very crucial to note, that no matter how the next tribute plays out, if No Tomorrow can keep their players alive, the boss is 2.5 minutes away. In 2.5 minutes, No Tomorrow can be threatening 16, and ENDEMIC won't be close to 16, which means that that boss can now be picked up by No Tomorrow. And since that lane got so much value, can then threaten keep, and then that win condition potentially if they get a kill or 2 behind that. So No Tomorrow, if they play their cards right, can be in a very advantageous position in the next few minutes. For now, we have to consider the curse, which is available here for either team that grabs this.
Giants on bottom are going to be a problem for No Tomorrow. If they end up getting this curse,
they're going for
just
Junkrat.
Picked up. Yeah, they're going for the kill on a Junkrat. Here we see, do we see Akaface teleporting? Nope, Mike Udall got sniff of that. Doesn't want to deal with it. Akaface starts the channel, interrupt with the Haraji Cube. Cure is going to be the focus as Tomster comes in with that switch strike. Another interrupt there with the Napalm, a very good interrupting tool for ENDEMIC. Eldruins, that's the next. Next is going to be Napalm. There it is.
Just outside of the range, the dot on that. Beacon will have to come in again. The Roderick Cube, they continue to cycle. Not sure how much is left of that camp mid, but it is something to consider over time. The hard part for No Tomorrow is getting any type of Brightwing bomb. Those towers are still a threat to do damage. Kieran team, armies pop, see if they get aggressive and move forward here, looking for a fight.
They are looking for the fight. Big Impact's actually going to start the channel. Jay Shrite gets that interrupt there, not wanting to go in. No Warden's Cage, only Containment Disc available there. Giants still pressuring on bottom. Dansky's going to be the focus. Sanctification coming out from B-Kid. Riptire is going to be used here by Mike Udall. Blown up onto the bunker as Jin and Casanova escape. We see the Containment Disc. Here comes the Brightwing in. Polymorph afterwards onto Arthas. Tether landing onto 2. Now B-Kid's going to be dropped back in. But Dansky on that Sergeant Hammer just wailing away, not worried about a thing, Jay-Hao.
Yeah, and that bottom lane has those Siege Giants pressing. Could inevitably get 13 through some experience through structures and that trickle down that comes in. Akaface all for naught as he continues to try and channel. And the interrupt tools on the side of Endemic. Those should be dealt with momentarily, but another wave coming in. Brightwing, Hearthing.
Teleporting back.
But no setup.
I mean, without the commitment, hold on here, Cure.
Oh my goodness.
There it is. That's what they were looking for. I can't believe that it came out that quick and that clean. But the combination there between the Tether, the Polymorph, almost a tribute interrupt there by Dansky. But he is very low on mana. He's going to have to go back and tap if he wants to be able to get a couple more of those napalms out.
Well, just the Junkrat poke. Somebody has to wear those grenades. That's been the only thing that's delayed the last few as another one comes through.
Teleport out from Akaface now, not wanting to deal with that. Combo goes through, 3-man Jet Propulsion, 2-man Switch Strike. Dansky falling low, the bunker over the wall. No Tomorrow just lit up Endemic there with that dive. Jay-Hao, that was beautiful. That was ridiculous.
Ooh, see if they make a play on the boss here. They have a 2-man advantage for a long period of time. If they're going to do that, they need to stall that cap a little longer. So we can see they have turned their full attention towards this boss. Concussion Mine is there. I can't imagine Endemic takes this, or at least
Jay-Hao,
tries
Holy
to
Ground
take
is
it.
here. B-Kick and Holy Ground after the wall. They're going to knock away Casanova, then Holy Ground over the wall afterwards. They need 2 interrupts, and there is no Emerald Wind. This is pretty much a boss over to Endemic, I believe. Akaface getting interrupted on the channel. Cure falling low. The boss, will it tether back? Oh my goodness, it is getting leashed. Cure doesn't want that to happen. Now he's going to go ahead and start this. They're going back for the boss.
This is catastrophically bad for No Tomorrow. Don't even get the curse. They finally get the curse, but they do it with giving up a boss on the other side. Here, let's give a silver lining to this for No Tomorrow. That is a bit of a misplay. They didn't have the sieging capabilities and the damage to burn down the boss. For them, though, at the tail end of this curse, they'll have 16-tier advantage, and their boss is available with that bottom lane open.
Yeah.
So there is some silver lining, but it's definitely not the play that No Tomorrow hoped for.
No, they were in a situation where they could sense that momentum swing that you and I have constantly been like, that is a problem. This could be a very big problem. But then when they overextend a little bit too much, Endemic having great punishment over that top boss, but No Tomorrow not letting up the gas. As you said, though they do have the curse against them, they have the curse itself, they've got the boss pushing away, they're the ones finding kills and are still in control of this game.
I'm not 100% sure on this push here. There's only a few seconds left, unless they're looking to just play around that 16 talent tier advantage and get the keep down and then go out.
Yeah, this is...
It's just sieging and timing are not in their favor.
And B-Kick can dismount and provide smite to the rest of the team. This is one of the biggest advantages of having a Tyrael on your team. Also one of the biggest downsides of having a Sergeant Hammer on your team. Not as good of chase capability, so maybe part of the reason we see a little bit of patience here. But now, we'll find out what happens here when it comes to the boss play.
Oh, they're coming to defend. Michael Udall on that Junkrat is concussion mining over and over and over, getting close enough here. They have the Holy Ground you mentioned before, so they might look for a fight. Casanova in the anchor position. He'll hold for now.
They have to containment disc the Holy Ground or the Sanctification.
It's on him.
Falling low. There's a containment disc. It's onto the Tyrael. Oh, look at that X-Strike on the back line. Polymorph, or excuse me, Cleanse going to be used and Big Impact actually surviving. There's the Sanctification as the rest of Endemic is a bit split. B-Kid trying to give the smite for the escape. Cure is the focus, but the Holy Ground and the Scroll of Sealing stop No Tomorrow's advance. And Jay-Hao, that window of the 16 talent tier advantage is being won by Endemic here as they're now recovering only 3/4 of a level behind. Boss attempt number 3 here for No Tomorrow.
They should get it, and Endemic is making the appropriate call to use the Siege Giants to defend. They're also using the Arthas to clear the minions. It feels though, No Tomorrow, 15 seconds left on that curse. They committed to the keep. Had they just backed out because Arthas was still dead, they would have had time advantage, a numbers advantage, and then could siege up and take that bottom keep and then play the long game, that 5-minute boss rotation, and then try to end the game with that one. But if not, you have that 5-minute window down the road, the 20-tier advantage. it's a patient Cursed Hollow approach for a composition built not necessarily to be patient.
And originally, though, I don't mind that approach because No Tomorrow was winning so heavily through the macro front and some of the advantages they gained in the earlier stages that I think it was totally fine for them to sit back and play it in that manner. My concern, J-How, was how long they were willing to sit around a tribute that they were slowly but surely losing as time went on. And if we look at how that functioned, it's unlikely No Tomorrow can truly take a team fight toe-to-toe with Endemic, considering the compositions. They don't have the Emerald Wind split capabilities, so moments like this feel like their only shot here to find a win condition. As they go up, will they push here towards the core?
One self-cleanses down the boss, under 50% and falling. We've seen moments like this before, but that boss, it's way too early to siege up on this. No Tomorrow will take their spoils. They will walk away. They'll look to grab another boss potentially down the road, and then use that as their win condition.
Wait a minute, though. Mikey Doll getting caught out. There's a tether. The polymorph comes in. They have to get this kill. Mikey Doll able to make it to the holy ground. There's the sanctification. Scrollless Ceiling is going to lock down one. Look at that Lornado value coming out from Big Impact there. Containment Disc onto Cure. He is isolated. Polymorph goes down as we see Icebound Fortitude and Army of the Dead use. Bunker Focus will be here from Endemic as the Knights move in. Switch Strike there. Will he find a reset? Datesky! X-Strike is there, and they find the reset. They find more than one. They get themselves Cure and 2 kills.
Yeah, Tomster waited patiently over that bush. The return of T-God here as he gets some damage in. Only 2 members down, but one of those is a Sergeant Hammer. No Tomorrow is looking to siege up. They have catapults at their back. They might try and end here. They need at least one more kill to make this a lock.
Yeah.
Right now, we'll see if No Tomorrow can hold as the shield starting to fall on the side of Endemic.
Yeah, let's see if they have the damage here. 70% and counting. Casanova is not even falling low. Jay Shrite, no fear. J-How, it looks like the damage is enough here. No Tomorrow able to take a game on Cursed Hollow up against Endemic in confident fashion. Oh man, that was a wormhole I didn't want to walk into.
You know, Haloran walked down it earlier. This time it's your turn. Brightwing wins.
And we didn't even get the Emerald Wind, of all things, the Blink Heal selection on top of it all.
0 kills for Endemic, 9 kills. And I want to go back. There's oftentimes small misplays or good plays created by a team, and you say this was the turning point in the game. You could almost argue that first night camp invasion was enough to disrupt the long-term game plan of Endemic.
Yeah, that's a really good point that you bring up because the lack of wave clear was going to be a problem, and the momentum gained and experience gained through that pressure at that point in time. But then what would have been a bigger problem even, than the first. So then by being able to get a kill, setting the momentum back and removing that wave clear threat, suddenly you have an advantage within a time frame that your composition should be suffering. And for a comp that is so skirmish oriented and so mobile, that is pretty much the dream. If you're winning over the early game, that probably means you're going to snowball the game very, very well. I mean, there were definitely extremely, kind of like unique highs and lows on both sides here, I feel like. But No Tomorrow got a confident lead, and they didn't let go. That's the biggest thing to point out here is it's 9-0 in terms of kills.
That's the composition. You just got to keep your pedal to the metal and let it go. And No Tomorrow did that. We know they can pull that off. We'll see if they can do it again. It's tied up 1-1 here. Endemic versus No Tomorrow. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll see how this unfolds. We'll be right back.